Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is about Skypark. It is a third-party add-on for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So it's a career mode. To make it simple, it's a career mode similar to the likes of NeoFly. You kind of just hop in and you do your flights. So in this video, I'm actually going to complete a flight. But before I do so, I'm going to walk through a little bit of the basics of Skypark. Skypark's about $30 US and can be purchased through the Orbex website, as well as other websites as well. So the first button here is where you get your contracts. So here you'll figure out where you want to fly. I've done a handful of flights so far. Recently, I've been flying in Canada. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a flight that I think will work for the video. And it's going to be a short flight. So here's the flight that I feel is going to be ideal for this video. So we're going to do CEJ3 to... sorry, we're going to do CEQ3 to CEJ3. So we're going from and to. So then in the simulator, we'll go ahead and enter that information in. We're going to fly in the Kodiak for this test. So we're going to type in CES or Q3. Wow, can't talk. And bam. And then next we're going to type in CEJ3 for our destination. All right, so once we have that set in there, we can go ahead and choose our runway. And it's a 48 nautical mile flight. So from to, we have that all set up in the simulator. Now we can hit fly on here. Okay. So we're going to launch now into the actual simulator itself, and then I'll continue more details as we go forward. All right, so we are now loaded in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and we have our airport chosen, or our route chosen here in Skypad. We'll click on Details, and we'll click on Save. So before I do so, run through some information. It tells you the type of aircrafts for this flight, gives you the basic information of what you'll be doing, the distance of it, how much you'll get paid out, when it needs to be completed by, how much of a fee, and the fees are transporting you from one airport to another, and then the profit you make. If you complete it, you'll get 46 XP, and then you'll get a +1 in your karma. So we like all that jazz. In the to-dos, tells you exactly what you need to do next. Here's just the messages from dispatch. And here's the money you'll be making, the cost of your transport. And then what you get paid out will be here. So now we'll click Save. All right. And the next thing we'll hit is Begin. We're going to choose this flight. Before we do that, let's step back out right quick. And we're going to go back to the home screen. So there's our contracts. Here's our mission. We'll go back home. Here's a map of your flight. It's pretty generic, not a whole lot going on with it, but at least gives you a little bit of information. The in-sim one, the VFR map in the sim is probably ideal, a lot more than this map here, but it's nice to have for free. I shouldn't say it's free, you have to pay for Skypark, but you know, it's free within the software. The holdings is your money, so this keeps track of how much money you currently have, and then all the information about your flights you've done in the past. Progress is your XP. And then here's your karma as well. I'll get into more of that detail down the road. Settings are pretty basic. And then this roleplay is their Discord. So that's the basics of the flight information. So next we're going to go ahead and choose Pay $1 and Begin. That's transporting us from the airport, or from my last flight, to our current departure. And then we'll be able to begin our flight. All right, so now it says, you can see on the screen here in the simulator, it says welcome to our location. And in Skypark, you simply hit load, because next it tells you right here, next up, pick up basket work and wicker goods. So we'll hit load. And this takes a couple seconds to load up. It's always 20 seconds regardless. So while that's doing that, I'll go ahead and get my Kodiak loaded up here. Well, I shouldn't say loaded, started up. Okay, we heard a beep. That means everything's ready to go. So if you look on Skypark, it does say ready to go. All your papers are in order. So now we can actually take off with our Kodiak and fly to the destination. All right, just verifying everything is set up in the Kodiak for startup. And it looks good to me. So let's go ahead and get some ignition going in the Kodiak. I am watching the NGs in the Kodiak. Now I'm going through this step here of startup just so you can see there's nothing that changes in Skypark. Okay, so Kodiak is good to go. We're started up. I'll get my lights turned on. And the runway is right in front of us. Okay. So all looks well with this. So let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and depart. Mind the person we just ran through. It happens. It happens. It's part of life. Decisions are made. Alright, flaps are set down to 10. And we are clear to the right and clear to the left. So we can go ahead and take off as soon as we get to the runway. And conditioner is now up to high idle. And then we're going to roll out of here. So we're going to backtrack to the south after departure. Alright, so you can see there is nothing changed in Skypark. It's exactly the same on the screen there. We departed from our destination, and we are simply now flying to our arrival. Or sorry, we departed from our departure. Now we're heading to our arrival. So I will catch you once we get closer to the arriving airport. Okay, we are about a minute and a half away from the arrival airport. I just want to show you something really quick that I had not shown you in the initial video. So here in the SkyPad, there in the what's it called? In the contracts. Whoops. In the contracts screen, there are two red, I guess, danger or caution signs. And for the departure one, you can select assortment of different options. So if you didn't like the airport, if there's a glitch with the airport, etc., you can then choose a different airport for departure, as well as arrival if there's some conflicting information going on with the simulator. So it's kind of neat to have that, the just in case kind of stuff for the departure and arrival. All right, so we're about to make our curve over here to the east, and we'll be landing, and we will see how Skypad updates the information to let us know that we are indeed coming in for the arrival. This is kind of cool down here. I don't know what that is. Really neat. It's the thing with the simulators. It blows my mind every time I fly. There's always something unique that I've not seen before in the simulator / world. Because it is as this app is I'm showing you, the Skypark. It is a Skypark indeed. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring down our flaps. Notch 1, there's our runway in sight. I'm going to take control of the aircraft at this point. And we're going to go down flaps 2. Now I will show you something after we land, if I can remember where it is, because you do have to set an option in the simulator for the on-screen prompts, I believe. unless that's for a different type of software, but I'm pretty sure that you have to get it to pop up. Forgive me for being quiet. I tend to focus on my landings during this portion, as I should. All right. So it does show welcoming information. That's my landing. And on Skypark, it now says park the aircraft. There it is, park aircraft, drop off the basket, work. We'll click on that little guy, and we'll go ahead and take care of that. And you can park wherever you want. There's no assigned parking by Skypark. So just like any other flight you would have in a simulator, you can do what you need to make it happen. And for this demonstration, I'm just going to park right over here on the right side. Okay, now that we have parked, we're going to put our parking brake on. And then that's going to go ahead and update our to-do list. Next it says to deliver the goods. So we're going to click on deliver. And just like in the beginning where it said it was loading, now it's delivering the goods. So it's removing those out of the back of the plane. And while it's doing that, we can actually shut down the plane. So again, you just continue your normal operations. Oops. My bad. I didn't bring that back up. Alright, you heard that little boom, 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 boom. Okay, so we have added in some money, $363 to be precise. And we've added in our XP, 45, almost 46. We're almost level 4, and we are plus 10 with Karma. So there's all that wonderful jazz that we have done with this flight. We can go ahead and hit close on this. We completed it in 24 minutes. And then up here we have a little red notification. It tells us that the money was deposited into our account. We can hit close, or sorry, clear all. And that's it. That is our first completed flight. Well, not first, but that is the completed flight with Skypark. So you can do props, you can do airliners. So it's just an add-on to your experience, give you a reasoning to continue. I shouldn't say continue, but a reason to do your flight, right? You can choose a contract instead of going, I don't know where I want to fly today. You can just choose a contract, and it's likely going to be an airport you've never heard of or never been to before, which makes it a little bit more spicy when it comes to some of the flights. In the contract screen, you can also break down information here, so you can filter based on the type of aircraft you have. There are two different main airlines, or not airlines, contracts that are provided. You get Clear Sky and you get the Coyote. Coyote is delivering, what's it called? Bad stuff. I don't think they say what it is, but it could be, drugs or weapons or something bad like that, right? You're working for the bad people. Clear Sky and Travel is, of course, the good stuff, just your common stuff like we just delivered. And choosing a contract by Coyote will affect your karma and will not give you from my understanding, will not give you great contracts for the good people, right? And then vice versa. Doing more Coyote will give you more contracts for the Coyote, which I believe pay out more, but less experience, something like that. I can't remember exactly the details I read about that. You can choose tours, experience, and cargoes, all that jazz. You can require ILS arrivals. So if you're doing an airliner, you can go to advanced filters, right? And you can choose by distance, by runway lengths, the type of runway. Yeah, everything is on here. Then you can sort your list by, the experience, the max experience, the distance, the type of aircraft location, etc. So all kinds of different things you can use to filter, which is really, really nice. Because if you're just feeling like doing a sort of like a bush flight, you can do that. Or if you're feeling like doing an airliner flight, you have an option for that as well. One of the other cool things that is eventually coming is with the money, you'll be able to see if you are paid for fuel, maintenance on the aircraft, all that jazz. From what I can tell through the Discord, they are making updates to it. The last update was in, I believe it was in May. So it's a slow progress here with the updates, but they are coming. And if you go and join their Discord, they do show screenshots of the work in progress they have been making with the software itself. So in terms of, is it worth it? I feel it is. I think it's a really neat software. It's a little on the pricey side for what you currently get. Given that NeoFly is out there, the old version of NeoFly still works extremely well. I feel offers very similar things, if not more, than what Skypark does. Skypark is just a little bit more polished and user-friendly than NeoFly is currently. The NeoFly Alpha or Beta looks really nice and promising as well, and I believe that's going to be free still. So depending on what Skypark adds to it, we'll decide. You'll have to decide yourself what kind of flight you want to do. NeoFly is nice because you can depart an aircraft or an airport that you've already landed at and keep a trip going. Keep a leg. So leg 1 through 20, you can keep going. Whereas Skypark, there is not that option currently, and I don't know if they're ever going to add that option in there. The nice part about Skypark is that you can literally choose any aircraft you own, hop into it, and just do a flight. You don't have to have a requirement like NeoFly has. The NeoFly is a very much more of a deep career mode, where Skypark is more of a give me something additional for why I'm doing this flight, right? Instead of just having fun in the sky, you actually have a to-do list, for that flight. Very minor, but still something to keep track of what's going on. So, it kind of, like I said, depends on the type of pilot you are, the type of person you are, and what you want out of your simulator. Do you want keeping track of the fuel? Do you want to be restricted to certain aircrafts until you graduate from those aircrafts? Or do you want to just go out and fly and do wherever you want, whenever you want, however you want? That is Skypark. So the tip I want to give you, if I can remember where it's located, I believe it's under miscellaneous. No, is it here? I forget where it is. Data. There's an option that I had to enable to get the screen stuff to pop up. And now for the life of me, I can't remember where that is. Is it not under... It's not traffic. Is it not under assistance? Custom... Here. Nope, that's checklist UI panel open. No, not that one. G Suite, no. Aircraft on. Checklist, ATC voices. Oh, it's under notification, right? Yeah, software tips. So under assistance options, notification, software tips. If you turn that on, that will then show what you saw in the middle of Flight Sim, giving you the instructions, telling you to load the cargo, unload the cargo, you've arrived here, that kind of stuff. So that's what that does versus paying it just clearly looking at Skypark and grabbing that information. So I definitely appreciate you watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give me that thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you have questions about it. I'll be more than happy to answer any of those questions you may have. And we'll see you for the next video. Thanks again, everyone.